Hi, this is Ray Wilson. You're watching MULATSCHAG, and it's quite simply the only TV you
need. You're from Dumfries, the Queen of the South, as they call it in Scotland.
Yes, I'm surprised that you know that. No one has ever told me that before. Yeah, the Queen of the South. It's the home of Robert Burns, who was a famous Scottish poet. Quite a small town, 40,000 people, but yeah, quite a nice place.
You're not often referred to as like the fighting Scotsman, but how do you see the whole independence discussion?
I think, there's good and bad sides to the whole independence story. I mean, we've been attached to England for so long now that obviously to break everything up would probably have some disadvantages and probably through time some advantages. But, having our own parliament, I think that is enough. We have our own parliament, so I don't know, I don't think there's any point in breaking away completely. Of course, whenever there's a Conservative government, Scotland wants independence. Whenever there's a Labour government, Scotland's quite happy.
How was it growing up there for you personally?
In Dumfries? Mm-hmm. It was okay, but I think if you have any ambition, then you have to get out. A small town, any small town, really. So my father was living in Edinburgh most of my life because my mum and dad separated when I was quite young. So we used to visit every couple of weeks. We'd go to Edinburgh. So I got a little bit of a taste for Edinburgh as a city. It's not a big city. It's 600,000 people, 700,000 people, but it seemed like a big city compared with Dumfries.
Of course.
So I spent most of my adult life there, and then 3 years ago, I met a Polish girl and moved to Poland. So I live in Poznan now. So a complete change. So from Dumfries to Poznan. I got into my first band when I was about 13 or 14 years old. And I was a David Bowie fan, so I started off singing Bowie songs. That's really how I started.
Oh, funny that you're saying that. Just yesterday I saw a documentary about the suffragettes.
Oh, right, Suffragette.
Yeah. I didn't even know that song is about those ladies.
Yeah, Bowie was always very innovative with his writing, for sure. But Suffragette City, it's actually one of the first songs I ever played.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. It's a small world.
They were quite brutal, the suffragettes, right? They were bombing cars and burned down houses.
Yeah, rock and roll.
And if you think that I've been losing my way, that's because I'm slightly blinded. And if you think that I don't make too much sense, that's because I'm broken-minded. Don't keep it inside. If you believe it, don't keep it all inside.
Looking at your biography so far, would you call yourself a lucky guy?
Yes, I think I'm lucky in that I was born with a voice, I didn't have to go to school and learn how to sing. I could just sing. So I was lucky with this. And I think throughout my career with, I've had some quite big success with Stiltskin and Genesis, and I've had some difficult times too. And I've worked very hard, I work very hard at my art. I always have. So I think, yes, I have had luck, but I've also worked very hard to continue a career for so many years, So I've always regarded my greatest achievement as not so much as singing with Genesis or having a #1 single with Stiltskin or anything like that. It's the fact that I'm still doing it.
You're a hard-working rock musician, playing 150 shows a year. Have you ever thought on, doing musical, or have you done stuff like that?
Interestingly enough, there was an audition recently in the UK for Jesus Christ Superstar, Andrew Lloyd Webber. And I was interested in going to audition, but I didn't. When I looked at the schedule, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So because I was booked, I'm booked so far ahead. But there's something about the whole musical idea, theatre, that it inspires me actually. So maybe it is something I could do in the future. I've certainly got I've got enough volume in the voice, natural volume, you know, to do theatre quite well. Whether or not my acting abilities are good or not, I don't know. I took a year of lessons many years ago, but I would quite enjoy a new challenge. That's for sure. I'm open to ideas, certainly.
MULATSCHAG!